Hello, my name's Rob and welcome to Swift Slots. Now, you may have noticed on this channel that I very rarely buy brand new cars, and that's because, in my opinion, most slot cars on the market these days are just a little bit overpriced for me personally, and I'm not always sure that the quality is attached to that high price, so I tend to stay away from new cars. However, you'll notice I have a new car just here, and that's because it's a RevoSlot. Now, again, there are a lot of RevoSlots that I'd love to buy, but they are a little bit pricey. But the big difference with the RevoSlot is that you get what you pay for. With that lovely aluminium chassis, you can always be assured that the quality is very, very high, even though the price is also a little high. But the price and the quality go together really, really well. And as you can see, I've bought myself the new Opel Kadett from RevoSlot. Beautiful car, classic colours. I love myself a RevoSlot, and I also love the Opel Kadett and also the Manta as well. I wish they'd do one of those. Anyway, so enough of that waffle. What we'll do is we'll get you on the table and I'll give you a really close-up view of this car, and then we'll take it to Ricard Valley and we'll drive it around slowly just to see what it looks like. However, at some point when I get Crow Valley back out, because it takes about 2 hours to get out, so when that comes out, I'm going to run this car around Crow Valley because I think this car is going to be an absolute killer around that track. But that'll be for another video. So let's get you on my table. Let's have a close look at my new RevoSlot. So here we are. Here is my RevoSlot Opel Kadett, and as you can see, it comes in the standard silver RevoSlot box. Nothing new here, and it's part number RS0316. So again, no surprises. All laid out in exactly the same way as all RevoSlots. You've got this nice protective carton, all the same as usual. You've got a little red pull there, little silver plinth. We can take the car out and we can expose all the detail parts. Now, in terms of details, this car only really comes with a pair of door mirrors, and we get the usual RevoSlot sticker, 2 in this case, and then we get the little pamphlet that shows you all the little upgrades and spares that you can get for this chassis. So I'll just show you that, and a couple of different liveries there as well, and the layout is just there. So it gives you some option parts and also the spare parts for this car. And as you can see, the hardware in this particular car appears to be silver. And then we have some upgrades or replacement parts. I can't quite remember. I don't really use these anyway. You've got the parts there. So enough of that. Let's have a look at the awesome car itself. Now, this is absolutely classic livery. I love this yellow and white. It's really striking on these particular cars, and the Manta as well. The Manta looks amazing in this white and yellow, and that's part of the reason why I bought this car, because I love the shape of this car. I love this era of car, but I also really like that livery. And as you can see, RevoSlot have done an absolutely fantastic job, as they always do. This is what I'm saying, that the new cars, some of them are quite pricey, including the RevoSlots, but the difference with the RevoSlots is you do get that high quality chassis, and you also get a really high quality but low weight body. Now, I don't mind paying for a vacuum formed interior with less detail, because the quality of the interior parts are very good, but also we get that performance. So it's performance really that we're paying for. So you've got a few bits in there, a few bits of separate detail fitted on there, so you've got a little bit of the quality, but you've also got a very lightweight interior. And I don't have a problem with that trade-off between sort of a little bit of detail in as much as you've got those molded parts, but also a basic vacuum formed interior so that you get the performance. I think there's a nice trade-off between those two. Not everything has to be really high detail, high definition interior just to get the quality. I think these are perfectly acceptable, the vacuum formed interiors. And on the underside, we have a magnet if you should want it. I think they're the work of the devil myself, but there you are. And then you've got a deep wood guide as well, which is a really handy inclusion, and that will be used on Crow Valley when I run it around the track. And as you can see, it's just your standard issue screw in base, the same as all RevoSlots. It's very difficult to review a RevoSlot because they are pretty much all exactly the same, really. But there's the underside. As you can see, we've got a little bit of pod float there as well, done by the little brass screws on the inside of the chassis you'll see in a second. We've got standard braid. That's the only thing that really lets these RevoSlots down, in my opinion, is they use quite coarse braid. I would use some thinner braid, but really, really smooth, really well centering guide straight out the box, and also sprung as well. Now I've done nothing to this car. Unscrewing this car from the base is the first time I've ever done it right in front of the camera. And as you can see, right out the box, you've got perfect springing and perfect centering. And that's what I'm saying about RevoSlots. The quality is there. You can rest assured that the quality is always going to be top notch. So we'll take the body off now. Now, is this particular one slacken screws and widen the body job, or no, actually no, we won't take the chassis off here. Let's have a close look around the body itself. So there we are. So we've got a blank front end with all the lights all sort of boarded off, I guess just for sort of racing and so on. You don't really need the lights. Maybe this wasn't a nighttime running car. You've got a really, really nice etched toe eye on there with some nice definition on the Opel badge on the bonnet. And then we've got the detail down the side. Not a huge amount, but you know, it's fine. It's perfectly nice. And we've got some little details here. Not very much. There's a little recess on the back there. Really, it's quite a plain car, but it's a very nice car. You've got some really nice wheel inserts as well. And then the back end, again, not too much going on. It's been debumpered for racing. Really nice lights, very well defined. Really nicely done rear spoiler. You've also got the little bonnet latch as well, and also the little bonnet latches, or boot latches, sorry, on the back end. And the printing on the roof is done spectacularly well. Really, really nice. But this side is exactly the same as the passenger side. And you got the well-defined windscreen with the windscreen rubbers running around. All the edgings on all these windows are really picked out very, very well as well. They're very clear and crisp, and they all fit in really smoothly and nicely. Got a really nicely printed sun visor as well. Again, all super clean, all super crisp. And then you've got some nice windscreen wipers. Very fine, very well defined. They're not heavy at all. They just fit in perfectly. A lot of manufacturers actually make those windscreen wipers a little bit heavy, and they actually look better. The finer you can make them, the better they actually look, almost to the point at which you can't really see them. They look better for it. As you can see, RevoSlot have nailed it with those wipers. They look really, really good. So again, not too much to see on the body really. It's quite a plain car, but that's what I like about these cars. The Opals. They're really nice. They're just, you know, they're just really purposeful looking cars. So now let's whip the body off now. So I'm guessing this is a spread body job. It is. So you spread the body and the chassis should just pop straight off. It does indeed. And here we are. Here is the chassis. Now this is cool. Look at that gold. That's actually quite striking. That gold is really, really nice. So it's all very standard RevoSlot. We can see we've got a standard 21,000 RPM S-Can motor. You've got a brass pinion. You've got the normal plastic spur crown gear or spur gear. And you've got a brass spacer on the back with another brass spacer on the other side. You've got the usual ball races in the pillow bearings on the back. We've got the standard pillow bearings that are ball raced on the front, independent front wheels as always, and there is the chassis float as well, all controlled by these brass screws. Now you can actually buy replacement screws to increase the float. I don't ever really bother, to be honest with you, but I guess if you're racing them, then you might want to. From experience, these RevoSlot tyres are very sticky, although they do often need a little bit of a true. They're not always the truest tyres in the world, but once they're trued up, they're super sticky and super reliable. You've got really nicely fitting wires into the guide there, super nicely done as always. Absolutely no problems with that. Got some nice silicone wire, and then we've got a nice block on the back holding your motor in, again in gold, so the motor is really well locked in. And I don't see any adjustments on that motor. There are, yes, there's a little tiny adjustment there for the meshing and on the rear as well. So I mean, it's a RevoSlot. What can you say? Apart from the gold hardware on this particular car, they're all pretty much the same. So one thing I do enjoy with these cars is lifting the bodies and seeing what colour the parts are on the underside. But that's about as different as these RevoSlots get. You get what you pay for, and what you pay for is a really nice quality chassis, as we're all very familiar with. So that is the car. So now let's pop her on the turntable and then get her around Ricard Valley, sorry, and then we'll see what she looks like in motion. There you are, that's my little review of my brand new RevoSlot Opel Kadett. And remember, I will be running this car around Crow Valley to try and set a really fast lap later on. And I will be posting that up on my Facebook page. So if you want to follow how this car runs, sign up to the Facebook page and I'll make sure that you're up to date with all the latest news that I'm doing and behind the scenes things. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope that you'll subscribe. And if you do, maybe you could hit the little bell button. That would be awesome. So until the next time, thank you very much.